right, welcome back everyone. Today we are continuing our journey on the very best of Thailand awards, and could we have missed the New York Steakhouse? Of course not. And today to talk to me about this wonderful iconic restaurant at the JW Marriott Bangkok, the Director of Food and Beverage, Mr. Bruno. How are you, sir?
Very well, thank you so much.
Welcome. Well, thank you for having us. And there's so many topics that I wanna cover, but I know time is not on our side, unfortunately, today. So I'm gonna just do a little story before we start. I came and ate here about 2.5 weeks ago. After 4 years I wasn't here, everything was perfect, and everything was exactly as I remembered. What's the secret?
Great. The secret, I think, is the consistency we would like to create. We would like to celebrate an experience for the steak lovers that we are having here. The New York Steakhouse we consider being our crown jewel of the JW Marriott Hotel. So with this signature restaurant that we are having, we have a little bit more freedom as well that doesn't bind us too much on guidelines. So we are free to choose the qualities that we can go after without too much pressure on cost initiatives and other issues that you usually have in a large hotel of this operation. So we would really like to have this restaurant being established in the city and know what we do best, which is steaks.
You mentioned something extremely interesting before off camera, and you said something, if we want to change something. Well, first you said it's a restaurant just happens to be in a hotel, but it could be anywhere else, which is very, very interesting. And then you said that if you want to change something in the hotel, you got to be very, very careful. Now, a lot of people could discuss that and say, hey, no, it could get outdated, it could be not as modern, or things like that. The way I see it, I completely agree with you, because some restaurants should not be touched more than not as much as other things. And New York Steakhouse being one of those places that it's becoming very traditional. Would you agree with that?
Yes, absolutely. I think the people, when they come here, they're looking for something. We are not cheap. We are really somebody who is trying to provide the best products out there that are available. So we are sourcing for very good products. Like you mentioned, it is a very touchy topic to start changing the menus around, and all of a sudden you go into a direction that is strange for customers when they come here, because they come here for the steak. They come here for the tableside preparation of our Caesar salad. If we start to introduce items on the menu, they are also having a story behind it. They are classics. We just recently introduced the Bomb Alaska, which is created at Delmonico's according to the acquisition of Alaska to the US from the Russian. So there's a little story about these dishes that we want to introduce. At the same time, they're very carefully selected. We don't want to bring things out of our menu or take things off our menu that are actually favorites. We are having great beef cuts. We are very careful with our suppliers. We are doing a lot of training with our staff that they know all about the beef. And I think these are the secrets, as you mentioned before. What makes the consistency? I think it has to do a lot with the people who are actually dealing with the customer. It's about the relationships with the customers, knowing them when they are coming, what would they like to have. We have many customers who continuously come to us. Every week they're coming. We're having a lot of special occasion customers coming. They're celebrating something. So there's a lot of business customers. We just, let's say for our birthday last year, we gave ourselves a birthday present, which is a brunch, which is our New York Steakhouse Prohibition brunch. And this is a good opportunity for people, I think, to, without the dress code that you don't have to get dressed up at night. We are not necessarily having too many children in the evenings too. So it's an opportunity really to come to our place, and you will see the signature seafood tower that reaches the table. You go back into the Prohibition time, into the 1920s. You can get dressed up, you can take pictures, you get a martini stroller is passing by. So you somehow are still within New York, but you go back in time. So actually when you look around on these pictures, you look into the future because they are in the 1930s, but you go back into 1920. So it's a quite interesting playground that we are playing with here.
Great concept. If you want to know more about the brunch, of course, you can log on to the fantastic website, or you can call the numbers, and they'll be willing to help reserve a great table right here at the New York Steakhouse. Thank you very much for your time. I believe I'm gonna meet up with Michael and Rose soon.
Yes, our chef.
Yes, and talk about the food. We're gonna go for a short break. Don't go away, don't change that channel, because much more of the New York Steakhouse and My Second Home with Daniel after the break. Don't go away.
Thank you.
Wow, thank you very much. Well, this is one of the main reasons you guys should come to New York Steakhouse. Did you see that? Fantastic. I am sitting with the executive chef of the JW Marriott right here in Bangkok. Michael, how you doing?
Great, how are you?
I'm very, very good, and I'm very happy to be here. I had a really, really interesting conversation with Bruno, and now I'm very looking forward to the food and having a great conversation with you.
Great, well, welcome to the New York.
Thank you very much. So let's talk about the New York Steakhouse, and let's talk about the food. What are we gonna have, for instance, today?
Right, today we're going to cook you a couple of the classics, in particular the tomahawk steak that we run here. It gets its name from the US. It's from the Texas region. It gets its name from the length of bone. It has a 1 foot bone. It's the rib bone. It's with the meat attached. And our tomahawk steak sits around 1 kilo, so it's quite, that's including the bone weight, so it's quite a big steak. It's our biggest steak in the menu.
Wow.
And where we get this steak from is Australia, and it's a beautiful Angus beef from Australia, and it eats divinely, actually. Really, it wait till you taste it. I mean, I don't want to tell you too much about it, but it really does eat beautifully. It's a grain-fed, it's a heavy grain-fed beef, and it's coming from the Victoria regions of Australia, and it has a beautiful beefy flavour, and yeah, good for 2 people.
All right, I'm looking forward for that. We were talking a little bit earlier about the cuts that you have here. I guess they are super selected. Where do they come from? Is it a little bit everywhere, or is it you guys select?
We work very closely with our suppliers at the New York Steakhouse. Part of what we do here is we eat beef every day. And it's not just me, the exec chef, that eats beef, it's our team. And it's not just our chefs that eat beef, it's the service side as well.
Life is not that bad after all.
At the New York Steakhouse, it's beautiful. So we do take care of our beef. Our team knows the beef, and we monitor our beef. Our suppliers also come in regularly once a month and do tastings with us. They join our tastings here. They happen every day at about 5:30, and everyone downs tools, and we've selected a particular type of beef and we taste this beef. And so we pick up on any imperfections there, and we have close dialogue with our suppliers at this point if there's an issue. We use many different cuts of beef here, but our two prime areas that we get our beef from is from the US and from Australia, and then we have also Japanese beef as well. So we have quite a variety coming from different parts of the world. And for our US beef, we only use the top grade US beef. It's our Cab Prime, our CAB beef, and it is a prime cut, which is the highest beef grade that you can get out of the US. And it also is CAB Prime, which represents less than 2% of all beef in the US.
So they better get it right every time.
Sure, we have to cook it correctly. You know, I think it's a natural product. It walks, it breathes, it eats, and they use a very strict grading system to ensure that it's top quality before it gets to us, and then it's up to our skilled chefs to make sure that we cook it and treat it correctly and house it correctly.
I'm stuffed. Actually, I'm not. The tomahawk is still on the table, so as soon as I finish here, I'm gonna go back to the table and finish it up. Oh, it's fantastic. I'm standing here with Rose, the restaurant manager. How are you today?
Very good. Yourself?
Yeah, very, very good.
I heard that you're stuffed,
but not really. Yeah. So basically, you and I met a few weeks ago. I came here and I had dinner, and I was so amazed, and we decided to come back and give you the award.
Glad that you're back.
Yeah. So, what's the atmosphere like here at the restaurants? Is it international? Is it only Asian? Is it mixed?
Well, for New York Steakhouse, of course, the name is American. So we are a classic American steakhouse, and of course we focus on mostly the steak. However, we have like more selections as well, apart from imported food from America, Australia, Japan. Of course, we have like those sections of seafood, lamb, fish, so many things, especially like those Caesar salad, which is our signature. We make it tableside. We have like Norwegian smoked salmon, roast beef, of course, crumble chili, and of course intensive winelets as well. So it's quite a lot.
So it's a lot to look forward, in other words, when you come to the New York Steakhouse. Well, thank you very much for your hospitality today.
Glad that you are here with us.
Thank you very much. If you need numbers for reservation, boom is this. And if you need more information about the restaurant, you can log on to this website. And it's really, really good, by the way. So that's all the time we had for today. We're gonna go for a break. When we come back, much more of the best of Thailand, much more of My Second Home with Daniel. Don't go away.